your customer base is mostly practitioners, correct?
Absolutely. I'm in the practitioner channel.
Practitioner channel, that's what I understood.
Totally.
Okay, so the quality is always better that way. That's usually, the practitioners always have the best quality. It's I'm unmerciful how to get it.
Absolutely. Books. Yeah. So that, and then a mineral, trace minerals, macro minerals, just so you're replenishing everything that you're not getting from your diet.
I always tell everybody, for gentlemen, the most important mineral, zinc.
Absolutely. It's so important in so many ways in the body.
And for women, magnesium.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah.
Can I get into the growth hormone peptides?
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Can I get my CJC, my epimarelin, my tesamorelin?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. So yeah, we call these secretagogues, growth hormone secreting peptides. The primary action is stimulating our own natural production of growth hormone. So it's made, from our pituitary gland, stimulates the pituitary to release more growth hormone.
Right.
And growth hormone declines at a rate of about 15% every decade after 30.
Right.
Yeah. So, growth hormone is responsible for lean muscle mass. It's responsible for fat burning or staying, slimmer or leaner. It's involved in energy production. It's involved in sleep, deep sleep. So these peptides can improve sleep, skin elasticity, bone density, overall vitality. So they're great anti-aging peptides.
I actually love it for joint health, but the one thing I really look at is sometimes I don't think people realize it breaks down visceral fat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Specifically belly visceral fat.
Yes.
So
yeah. So
obviously that's the rage.
Yeah. So it ramps up your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. You're burning more fat. You're maintaining muscle mass better. It actually increases the amino acid uptake into your muscles, and so basically the protein you're eating will go farther. And then, like you said, the joints, that actually CJC has been shown to protect chondrocytes, which are the cells that make our cartilage. And so if you're looking at preventing arthritis, protecting chondrocytes is a great place to start.
Now, I guess I have a question.
Yeah.
Does it increase collagen production?
Yes.
It does.
Collagen,
it does.
elastin.
Yeah, elastic. That's the way I understood it as well.
Yeah, so that's where the skin elasticity and overall texture will improve.
Right. Now, obviously, I've had a number of clients who love it just to shrink their waist. I've tried it myself. Very impressive.
Yes.
Now, I want to ask you the difference between blending the two of them together and taking them separately. And the differences between the three we described.
Yeah, so we'll start with CJC.
Please.
And the biggest difference is between CJC and the other three, ipamorelin, samorelin, and tesamorelin. CJC is a long-acting secretagogue, so its half-life is about 6 hours.
Right.
Whereas the other three typically have a half-life of about 10 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
We say those are kind of like a sledgehammer on your growth hormone.
Right.
Whereas CJC is a little more gradual.
Right.
So when you have CJC and you take this, we like taking it at night, 30 minutes before bed, or other times of the day where you can match up to a growth hormone peak, but your growth hormone peaks in your sleep. So you take that, and it has a long half-life, long duration, so it boosts your growth hormone when you sleep. That's the whole idea of it. You can take CJC and one of the others, ipamorelin, is one of the most popular CJC, and so you get a long duration, and you also can spike very quickly with the ipamorelin, so you get a synergistic effect. So more growth hormone, more fat burning, more muscle growth, and just an overall quicker effect.
Now, if I leave this set without asking you this question, I'm going to get murdered. So this question came up 5 or 6 times. When you say you take them together, is it in a blend or it's individually?
Great question. You'll see them in blends. One of the things I personally don't like to do is take blends. And this is why. Peptides can interact because they're like bioactive molecules, right? So when you put 2 different peptides in one vial of bacteriostatic water, they're kind of free to interact with each other.
Right.
And they can create analogs, which are like, it's like, imagine you have the peptide and it just changes just ever so slightly. It's not the same peptide. It's
anymore.
Similar. It might have similar effects in the body, but it's not exactly the same.
Right.
Don't know what those analogs are. So it might be benign, but it also might be, not. So they interact. So we like to do peptides that are by themselves in the vial. That in one vial. You can totally combine them in the same syringe or do them at the same time or stack peptides. We love stacking peptides. I stack peptides all the time. But if you try to stay away from the mixtures in one
the
vial.
blends. Okay. That's funny you mentioned that because anything else we want to introduce one at a time, and that's the first time these blends are just being, and I feel like it's cost effective for the lab, so that's why they're doing it, or it's more cost effective for the consumer, but it doesn't absorb the same.
Yeah, well, I don't know how they absorb really, but because we don't have data on that.
I was going to say the research I'm seeing is all individual peptides. This responds this way, this responds this way.
Yeah.
We're going through this with vaccines now publicly
Totally.
on a national stage with, okay, we couldn't delay the one to the other to the other. You're going to introduce 72 at the same time.
Exactly.
And there's a massive federal lawsuit right now on that. So, and we'd always say with a child, you introduce a food at a time,
Yep.
a food at a time, and a food at a time.
Absolutely.
In this particular case, the same way with the blends.
I would absolutely recommend that. Yeah, start with one at a time, and don't do try to stay away from the blends just because we don't know enough yet.
So when we go back to the blend, so I'm going to touch back on the BPC one.
Absolutely.
The Wolverine stacks become big. The Glow stacks become big.
Absolutely.
Thoughts? Same,
Totally.
same conditions apply.
Well, if you can, take them separately. When I say separately, have your BPC in one vial and your TB500 in another vial.
Right.
And then draw them out together in the same syringe.
If you prefer. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now there's even some ways that you can take peptides that aren't injections and you can more safely do the combos. And we can touch on that in a second. But yeah, you're not saying you don't do combos. Absolutely, they're great and they work synergistically. But if you're doing them in vials, it might be best to stick with one peptide per vial.
Per vial, I would agree. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Because the understanding was the application may not be the same, and the compound at that point blended together may not be exactly the same compound.
There's potential for them to interact and change. Absolutely.
That was the thought. Okay.
Yes.
Let's get to it. Thymosin alpha 1.
Yeah, so thymosin alpha 1 is a derivative of the thymus gland. That's where they discovered it.
Forgive me for 1 second for the audience that doesn't know. In 2015, Labor Day weekend of 2015, I had a thymectomy. It was a stage 1 10-centimeter tumor, had to be removed. So I'm without a thymus. So how would it affect somebody like me and then go into everybody else in the autoimmune case?
Absolutely. So the thymus is very important for our immune function in our body. And so thymosin alpha 1 is a derivative of the thymus gland that has several functions in the body for immune health. So it can increase the number of our T regulatory cells. It can increase our number of natural killer cells. It can work through toll-like receptors and dendritic cells. So it has all of these different routes of or mechanisms in the body that basically render it as a antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral.
Can I follow up with one more thing? Absolutely. Let me ask this question. When you said our natural killer cells, would it improve your CBC? Would you be able to take on cancer? I want to say
it's an approved drug in 35 countries. I believe for hepatitis B and cytomegalovirus, CMV, and I believe a host of other things. I've seen it personally increase white blood cell counts.
You have?
Like nothing else before.
Really?
A friend who sent me an image who's taking care of a family member, and their white blood cells were very low. It was an active cancer case, and in 2 days, I think they quadrupled, if not 5x'd, the white blood cells.
Wow.
From like a 1 to 5.
Wow.
So yes, it's very.
There's a future for that somewhere.
I think genuinely, thymosin alpha 1 will be the new BPC in a year or two in this post-COVID landscape.
That's a bold statement, but I like that. Okay.
Yeah. Mark my words.
That's something I'm going to try shortly. So we'll have this conversation on that shortly as a follow-up, and I'll have a follow-up with the audience for that. Last one.
Yeah.
Motzi.
Yeah. So Motzi is not one I work directly with.
Right.
I've not taken it myself.
Experience. You're not even taking it yourself. Okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's not a great peptide. I don't claim to be the all-knowing source of peptides. Motzi is a mitochondrial peptide. Right?
Yes.
And what I'll say about that is anything that improves your mitochondrial efficiency or your mitochondrial output. So our mitochondria, powerhouses of the cell, they make ATP, the energy currency of our body. If you can improve mitochondrial health, you can basically improve every aspect of your health. Because, and this is how I often put it, like it's like you can have the nicest car, right? You can have a Lamborghini, but if there's no fuel in the engine, it's as good as a Prius at that point. Well, a Prius is better than it at that point. So just in terms of if you're not powering your mitochondria, then nothing else in your body works. So yeah, it's a great
for the audience. I give it as the natural battery to the body.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So and we talked about glucose earlier and like all these peptides and insulin signaling. So what happens is you have sugar in your blood. You have sugar from a meal in your blood, and then your insulin tells your body to take that sugar from your blood and put it into your cell. And then that sugar in your cell gets turned into energy by the mitochondria. So we need all of these things. We need them to be working properly. Their mitochondria, or I should say ATP, is involved in every process in the body, including detox, including living, breathing, thinking, including repair, including autophagy. So yeah, if you can optimize your mitochondria, then you can do probably
sports performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And so here's what I do, right? I optimize my mitochondria elsewhere, like in a different way. So I've just not tapped into it yet.
Just curious.
Yeah, but I've heard some amazing stories from Motzi.
When you say a different way, is that red light therapy? Is that creatine? Is that what?
I'll tell you my stack. So I want
to hear about that.
I take liposomal NMN, which is the direct precursor to NAD.
Yes.
I take that with resveratrol and quercetin, which are senolytics that get rid of senescent cells and kind of make the NAD go in the right bucket in the body.
Okay, where's PQQ?
My next supplement. So then I take my next one, liposomal PQQ with CoQ10.
Go with CoQ10.
A little extra resveratrol, some high, I take all my antioxidants, phosphatidylcholine, and some adaptogens, and that's really all about mitochondrial efficiency, mitochondrial biogenesis, and then I also take this product right here, actually, that I brought for you, which
I can't wait to try.
Phosphatidylcholine, astaxanthin, ahi flower, more tocotrienols. It's a vitamin E blend, and so this is like all your fat-soluble compounds that go into making healthy cell membranes.
Now you dose it into cups these big, or how do you dose it?
Teaspoon with these particular products. Teaspoon, hold it in the mouth 30 seconds. So those liposomes go through the mucosal lining, and then you swallow up.
Okay.
And so the NAD is the fuel. The other product with the PQQ and CoQ10 is fine-tuning the engine. This product is the structure of the car, because it's mostly phosphatidylcholine and our mitochondria is a double membrane. And then you can take something like glutathione or ergothioneine. I take. It's a very, very good antioxidant that does cool things in our body.
You take the glutathione orally?
I take it all with this together. Yeah, I also go on orally. I take it liposomally.
You take it liposomally.
Yeah. So
I'm still getting injections. So
totally.
Weekly, actually.
Absolutely. And you can take liposomal with the injections in order to maintain your levels on a daily basis. So that all these products can work hand in hand. But so my whole stack there is mitochondrial, reducing oxidative stress, and I just do a maintenance detox, so that way I'm supporting my liver, because there's 84,000 known chemicals that we're in contact with every day, not maybe all of them every day, but most days. So support your own detox process, support your mitochondria, and everything else kind of follows. At least in my case, it works for me.
I've experienced several times where I can get a pharmaceutical grade CoQ10 with a pharmaceutical grade PPQ, and it feels like liquid crack.
Yeah.
Like I am just energized, and it's not a stimulant.
No, yeah, it's
energy.
total
It's just total clarity, rather live, almost an endless energy.
Yeah.
And the second follow-up I had for you was, when you're NMN.
Yes.
Okay.
Totally.
So elaborate a little bit on NAD for the audience, please.
Yeah, so I know Dr. Fenton did a great job of talking about NAD.
Yes,
so if you haven't watched that, because I'm not going to repeat what he said.
I would check out episode 2 with Dr. Fenton. He was outstanding.
Yeah, check it out. NAD is a cofactor that's used in every single cell in our body and in high amounts. If we didn't have NAD, we would be dead. So it's crucial. And but NAD as a supplement. There's
precursors.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so you can take an NAD injection. You can do an infusion, like straight to the blood.
Those can get a little.
Yeah, so
3.5 hours in the
chest tightness.
Yes, over some people.
You feel like
nauseated a little bit. Yes,
you feel like you're gonna, you feel like you're gonna get sick. And the company I work with and kind of who I talk to, we all have our like a little theory on that. So it's an intracellular molecule, but we'll save that for another time. But yeah, the precursors, you have NMN, nicotinamide mononucleotide, and you have NR, nicotinamide riboside, and those are the two precursors. NR turns into NMN, which turns into NAD, right? So NAD is in the cell. NMN and NR have to get into the cell. So we have dedicated transporters for NR and NMN, but not NAD. So
break it down.
So taking the precursors is a good way to increase your NAD in your cell, and NMN and both NR have been proven to do that. But it's not just as easy as increasing your intracellular NAD, because there are cells in our body that are unhealthy. We have something called senescent cells or zombie cells, and those are the cells that they aren't really doing anything great, right? Their telomeres have run out. They're not doing anything. They're not replicating or getting or undergoing apoptosis, which is programmed cell death. So they're kind of just like radiating inflammation, and they give that signal to other cells in the body. It's like an inflammatory signal. It can induce senescence, this zombie-like state in other cells in the body. And so if we just ramp up NAD in our body, but we have a huge senescent cell burden, then all of a sudden you're going to be propagating inflammation. So what we love to do is take these precursors with compounds that are considered senolytics, like resveratrol and quercetin, things that activate what we call sirtuins, which get rid of senescent cells. That's why I take NMN, resveratrol, quercetin. It's all in the same product. It's called NAD Platinum, and by Quicksilver Scientific, and it has the methylation factors in it as well, because the NAD is a cycle. NAD is a cycle in the body. And I should say it's part of a cycle. And then there's a salvage pathway, which is basically how does the body turn NAD that gets used back into NAD, and it's a methylation process. So there's a whole lot that goes into NAD, and we could go down the rabbit hole, but we're actually still learning about that compound. So it's not as easy as just doing an NAD injection. There's a lot that goes
with it.
Into it.
Although I got to be honest, it'll give me a burst every time.
Yeah, totally. Well, a lot of people love them. Some people take and they don't feel much. Some people get.
To be honest, I got more from the an NAD plus product than anything else with the NMN and NMR. I got to be honest. Really,
totally.
That's to me, just the daily taking of it. Immune function, response, natural energy, cognitive function, focus, everything seemed to come with that. It's almost like, it seems like every year I get a little bit of a symptom relapse. Nothing like what it used to be.
Totally.
Right? Just hasn't happened this year, thank God. But I really feel like it's due to the NAD. There's a number of things changed with that, but yeah, that's one of them.
Well, NAD is cool too, because NAD is like it's naturally occurring in our body, and and Dr. Fenton said it too, it declines as we age. It also can decline on a daily basis if you are sleep deprived, for instance, and your NAD drops. It'll actually can mess up the intestinal lining in your gut and your microbiome. So it's interesting when you say that NAD has helped so much with some of your symptoms, because it is so crucial to functioning in our body that it would make sense that if you keep your NAD levels high by taking precursors consistently, that you would maintain higher levels of NAD and overall better health.
And keep away the lipopolysaccharides in the gut?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the big. Yeah, people think environmental toxins are bad.
No, can I be honest? Most of the polysaccharide issues that are caused, there's lack of sleep.
Totally. Sleep deprivation is a huge problem. Well, yeah. And quality of sleep matters so much.
I would agree with that, but the 4 hours a night sleep or 5 hours of light and you're a warrior, keep doing that for a couple of days, see how you feel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because then intestinal permeability is one of the first things.
And wonder why you have gut issues at that point.
And then you have leaky gut, and now you're maybe not eating as good.
Yes.
Right? And so now you're leaking into
cravings
blood.
Exactly. Oh my God,
yeah, totally.
Yeah, and the rise in blood sugar that will accompany that.
Absolutely. Cortisol.
Yeah.
So sleep, guys.
Sleep peptide. Your recommendation?
Yeah, so there's a couple. The one that
By the way, the CJC's money with that too. By the way.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna let you continue. Go ahead.
Yeah, totally. So there's a peptide called N-acetylsilanc or Silanc, N-acetylsilanc, and that's a GABA peptide. And GABA is the inhibitory neurotransmitter in our brain, and so it shuts things down.
Right.
So when you take Silanc, it can help calm. It can help you fall asleep. It can help with anxiety too.
Have you seen a lot of success with the type A crowd with that?
With what that?
The type A crowd with that. Have you seen a lot of success with the type A?
Type A crowd, yeah.
Oh, some of them don't unwind at all. Yeah.
I have a close friend who really benefited from that peptide. It just kind of brought the overstimulation down, so that way he could be more in the moment and feel like more senses, like his hearing improved, his vision improved, it calmed the chatter. So it wasn't like a anti-anxiety medication or like a benzodiazepine that didn't calm, but like just dimmed the whole system. It wasn't like alcohol that just sort of dimmed the whole system. Because if you drink enough alcohol, you go unconscious. That's GABA. That's GABA. So when you hear GABA, this GABA peptide, it doesn't do what alcohol does, but it was really beneficial.
It also depletes the receptors. That's a little different.
Totally. So it was a great one. CJC is another one by increasing growth hormone levels in the body. Growth hormone is tied in with deep sleep, and so a lot of people, their REM scores are like on an Oura ring or something will like double. You'll like spend twice as much time in REM sleep and deep sleep with CJC 1295.
I had some experience with Ipamorello by itself, and I would take it in the morning. Yeah. And I would be on the way to work, and if there was ketchup in the car, I'd eat the steering wheel. Have you seen that responses such as that?
Yeah, so this is another reason that I personally like CJC 1295.
I got better results, by the way, with the CJC by itself, so I'm just going to say it that way.
Yeah, so, and this is like, you're touching on is really relevant right now with regulatory.
Now, was that the lab? Or is that...
No, that's the action of the peptide.
That's the action of the peptide. Okay,
so we kind of skipped over it a little bit quick, but CJC is slow acting. It's a long acting, I should say. The others are pretty fast acting. They're kind of like sledgehammers on growth hormone. So what they can do is they can increase ghrelin, and that is why you're hungry. Yeah, right. And so,
it was out of control hungry.
Yeah,
for most of my life, I fasted for maybe 30 days a year, and oh my God, I never felt like I needed food that bad in lifetime.
Yeah. Oh. Which is great if you're trying to put on a lot of muscle very quickly.
I would agree, yeah.
But it's not great if you're trying to lose weight on a GLP.
I would agree with that as well.
It's like, I'm taking one peptide.
It was insane. The response was insane.
Yeah, totally.
Before I get into reactions and different things, last one, PT141.
Yeah. I laugh because people don't talk about it enough. It's a fantastic peptide. So it's a melanocortin.
I remember melanocortin came out eventually, and that's how that works. Yes, go ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's just a fancy word for meaning that it acts in the brain, on the brain. So PT141 acts on the brain to increase desire and arousal. It's actually an approved drug for women with hyposexuality disorder, commonly seen in menopause. So PT141 is a peptide, but it's also an approved drug.
Right.
But it's also very good for men.
Right.
So it increases...
By the way, when you say that, it's for those who don't want to go on hormonal replacement. For those who wouldn't be interested in hormonal replacement.
I think you can use it with hormone replacement.
I would believe you could too.
Yeah,
My question
yeah,
is,
yeah.
no, but when you were saying it's an approved drug,
Oh,
are they coinciding it with it, or?
I believe so. Yeah,
Okay.
it's specifically for clinical hyposexuality.
Okay.
So but we commonly see that in menopause, right? So get the hormones right. 100% get your hormones right if that's the route you want to go. It's a great route to go, I believe. But and then you can use this peptide too for sexual health and wellness. So it increases desire and arousal, which also then increases circulation, and so it can help with performance, sensitivity, so it increased pleasure.
Right.
So it's a really great peptide.
What I really want the audience to know is, like, sex is a function of great health. So if I'm not optimizing that position, my health is going to suffer in that process.
Yeah. Well, how many relationships could really use greater intimacy in the bedroom?
Yes.
Right? But in the bedroom, but also outside of the bedroom. But if your sexual wellness is not there, then other aspects of your wellness are either not there or will suffer, right? I mean, in terms of a relationship, I should say. So, and that's not to say you need to have sex to have a great relationship, but if you are, this peptide can be really useful in kind of like bringing that closeness back together, right? So bringing the intimacy.
To really have there's got to be some kind of physicality to have a great relationship. So I'm going to say yes.
I agree with that.
Yes, I'm going to make that statement.
Yeah.
I'll take you off the hook on that one. That's on me. Yes.
No,
okay.
I guess I'm not trying to pigeonhole people.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Not saying like, you know what I mean? Yeah, because I know, some people don't, but I believe you do, but I'm not trying to make a bold statement like that. But if that is you, this peptide can be really useful.